Well, hello everyone. It's Dr. Obidi here, pediatrician and founder of Partners in Pediatrics and Family Health out here in Washington County, Maryland. And I am excited to bring you, as always, our Facebook Live every week because we've had some really fascinating guests and wonderful conversations. And today is not going to be any different. Again, Dr. Obidi here at Partners in Pediatrics and Family Health. We are a family practice. I work alongside some amazing family practitioners, and we take care of both adults and kids and partner with our patients to provide them optimum health. And like I said, I have another fascinating guest today, a really dear friend, Dr. Lola Ashaye, and I am just excited to welcome her. So she is a primary care physician, and she's double-boarded in both family medicine and lifestyle medicine. And she's the CEO of InTouch Pediatric Care, InTouch Primary Care in Sugar Land, Texas. It's a concierge-like clinic where she helps individuals and business owners easily access consistent quality health care so they can live life fully and enjoy what they love doing. I completely love that. And I'll let her introduce herself some more and we'll get going here. Welcome, Dr. Ashaye.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, pleasure's all mine, all mine, all mine. So, I am always interested in areas of study. So you're both double boarded in both family medicine and lifestyle medicine. Why lifestyle medicine? What informed the extra area of study?
Yeah, so that's a good question. When I first heard about lifestyle medicine, I heard it from another doctor, and it just really intrigued me the fact that I could learn how to help my patients do lifestyle behaviors because I
Mm,
think that was one of the things that I always felt a little deficient in. With
mm,
medical school, there was a lot of focus on disease
yeah.
prevention and also on medications, but not as much on nutrition,
Mm,
sleep, physical activity, stress reduction, avoiding risky substances, healthy
mm,
connection. So all those things that are so important for a
mm,
healthy lifestyle. And so I just wanted to learn more so I could help my patients hopefully be healthier and
mm.
make and reduce the medications that they take.
Yeah. And have you found that to be the case, that has actually helped?
Absolutely. I think I'm much more confident when I talk to my patients about lifestyle behaviors because
Mm,
I know that they work. And
yeah.
the thing about it too is I've used them too, right?
Mm.
So with as a lifestyle
You're a
medicine doctor,
practitioner.
yes, exactly. I also prior to lifestyle medicine, I struggled with consistent physical activity.
Mm,
And after, just learning the benefits and how important it was, with all the research that's
mm.
out there, I stopped struggling. I was like,
Yeah.
you need,
You need to do
you
this.
need to do this.
And your 90-year-old self will thank you for it too, right?
Exactly, exactly. So just even for me, I've seen the benefits, how my
Mm,
mood is better, how I have more
mm,
energy,
mm,
how it helps me just overall feel better. And so I
mm,
want my patients to have that too. And so
mm.
I can confidently let them know that you too can have this and you can
Yeah.
use, medications.
I love what you say here about, helping your patients be able to live fully and enjoy what they love doing. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? It's not like, okay, we woke up, we went to work, we got the paycheck, or went to our businesses and got some income, and we're able to put food on the table and that's it, right? Like there's more to life. There's like you're doing all these things so you can really enjoy life, so you can enjoy it to the full, so you can have a really rich life, right?
Right.
And so talk to us more about that too, because I think oftentimes, like you said, in medicine, we're really focused more on disease processes and what medications we can use to do, X, Y, Z. And when it comes to things like energy and productivity, our minds probably will go to like coffee. that's that's my that's my productivity tool, coffee. But I'm sure there are much healthier ways and probably better ways of boosting your energy and productivity, especially naturally. So I want to sort of help us figure that out and kind of dig into this for us. Would love to hear some nice, juicy tips from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, absolutely right. And there are many people that are looking for this. I'm sure you've heard it from
Yes.
patients where
Yes.
it's really at the end of the day, like you said, it's not about, oh, I treated my diabetes and now I can't eat anything. I
Yeah.
don't feel good. You know, usually when they are in that state, they actually don't stop taking the medicines
That is
because,
true.
it's just, even though they know it helps the diabetes, they're like, I'd rather deal with,
Yep.
with the diabetes because I don't want to feel this way,
Yes.
right? So that's what really attracted me to lifestyle behaviors, because when you do these things, not only can you reverse serious conditions like diabetes, high cholesterol, blood pressure, and all of that, you feel better doing it. It's
Yeah.
like a no-brainer, right? You feel good
Mm.
and you're reversing these conditions. And as you said, the whole point of us treating conditions is not just to be healthy for nothing. Like we want health
That's
so
true.
that we
Yeah,
can enjoy
absolutely.
our lives. So some natural ways that have are really powerful. Number one, I think one of the things that we find ourselves doing these days is sitting. We
Mm.
sit a lot.
Yeah.
And research has shown that prolonged sitting is actually associated with increased mortality as one.
Interesting, really.
Yes.
Wow. That's something. And is there like a metric to it, prolonged sitting for X number of hours, week or
Right.
whatever, or is it just did they qualify the number
But
amount of
how
sitting? Yeah.
often? Yes. So
Mhm.
ideally, you should get up every 20 minutes.
Mm,
Ideally.
ideally.
However,
Yes. I'm glad you said
However, that's why
ideally.
I say ideally, right? I
Yes.
usually start off slow with people because I'm like, what? I can't get anything done.
Uh-huh.
So, and at least every hour,
Yeah.
try to get up, try to move your legs
Hmm.
and walk around, even if it's like a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Hmm.
And that the scary part now is that research shows that is actually an independent risk factor from exercise. So there are a lot
Really
of people will say,
interesting.
oh, I'm physically active. I, do
Hmm.
my 1 hour walk or whatever
Yeah.
every day, so I should be fine. But we're actually
Hmm.
finding that even if you're physically active, if you're sitting most of the time, that's an independent risk factor for
Hmm.
mortality and cardiovascular disease. So
Interesting.
something as simple as just getting up to take phone calls, which is what I
Hmm.
do now.
Hmm.
Um, just whatever opportunities that you can have to stand up and walk around, take.
Totally. I mean, I have a standing desk. I'm actually standing right now.
Perfect.
And it's been
Yeah,
one of the most beautiful things since I redid my office is get a standing desk, and most times during the day I'm standing. And I
yeah,
might sit on my stool, but it's easier to just get up and stand when you're sort of at an elevated level already, when you're
absolutely.
sitting at a bar stool level than when you're all the way down.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know what I just thought about? I can imagine it probably works the other way around too, where you have someone who's not very physically active and feels like, that's just also overwhelming. They can at least stand up, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yes,
just walk around
exactly.
all day. That's such a small step and a small place to start.
Exactly. And that's exactly right. There's always something you can start to do, if that you weren't doing before, and every little bit actually counts. So for people
Mhm,
out there that are like, you know what, I cannot go to the gym right now,
mhm.
or I can't go on the treadmill, I can't even go on a walk, like a
Yeah.
full, you could stand up more often
Mhm,
instead of sitting
mhm.
down. Even that will help. So
Interesting.
all the little behaviors can make a big
Make a
difference.
difference. Okay, so we need to stand up some more, which
So
is
another
really
thing,
interesting.
yes,
Mhm,
another thing is stress. This is
mhm,
another thing that a lot of people take for granted.
Ooh, that's a big one, though.
That's a big one, right?
Are you ready to dig
That's
in?
a nerve.
That's a big one. Especially the world we live in these days. That's a big one.
That's
So
a big, yes,
tell us all the
exactly.
things. How can we
Yeah.
reduce our stress, Dr. Shai? We need to
So
hear.
I think the first thing is understanding that it's really important that it's not just, and because a lot of times we take it as a fact of life. Yeah, we're all going to be stressed out. It's normal to be stressed. Everybody's stressed, all that. But the truth is, our bodies actually don't know the difference between what is stressing us now versus when we're stressed versus when we intentionally relax versus when we just we're actually relaxed, right? So the thing is, we can actually relax versus when we just no, it's okay. We can actually trick our bodies to relax in a sense, right? So the first part of the stress thing is understanding the stress reaction, the fact that when something happens that's stressful, what happens a lot of times is the thing that triggered stress has gone away, but we hold on to that emotion.
Interesting.
And unfortunately, the cortisol levels, all those hormones stay up because we're holding on to that stress emotion. But if we understand that we need to let that go sooner or later, and we can intentionally do that by some physical things, some like deep breathing, sometimes physical activity, just running to get it out, or meditation, prayer. There are many different ways to intentionally relax so that your body, the hormones that encourage relaxation, the growth hormone and all the other things can be released to lower those cortisol levels. It makes a big difference. So the fact that something stressful happens doesn't mean that we need to carry it throughout the day. And I think just understanding that it can actually really negatively impact our bodies gives us that motivation to get rid of the stress.
Interesting. So have you found ways of, like, how does one maybe practically remind oneself that to be intentional to release the situation or the emotion around whatever stressful event has happened or is occurring?
Yeah, I think the first thing is practice, right? It's not going to be immediate, but if you put it in your schedule, just know that most days are going to be scheduled. That's
we're alive in this world right now.
So scheduling relaxation,
That's good.
is helpful. Just knowing that, when I wake up in the morning, I have my morning time, I have a routine that maybe includes physical activity. That helps because you've already kind of primed your body to a certain extent. And then throughout the day, when things happen, something is going to happen that's going to trigger stress. Now that's when the practice comes in. You choose whatever it is ahead of time that you're going to do when a stressful event occurs, and then you practice that. And when you do that over and over again, it gets easier and you're able to release faster.
I love that. I love the fact that you can at least initially schedule those times of relaxation, those times of reflection, those times of, okay, this is my time, alarm goes off, whatever, bells go off, and you say, okay, let me take stock. How has the day gone so far? Oh, yes, there's actually quite a lot I need to let go right now. And you do whatever you're going to do that, whether you're praying or meditating or moving. That's really good. I love that, because I can imagine as that becomes a habit, you can also catch yourself in the moment, as those stressful things occur, to stop and breathe and stop and release and move on, with the rest of the day without hanging on to the emotion and all the charge that comes around stress as well.
Exactly. And I think, again, understanding that stress is not just a mental thing, it actually does things to your body, and is associated with so many conditions. So by actively, intentionally releasing the stress, you are helping yourself be healthy and more productive.
Interesting. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here.
I have one more.
Any other things? Go ahead. Share that with us.
The last one I want to mention is sleep.
Yes. Oh no, you're really stepping on all kinds of toes today, Dr. Shai.
Yeah. So yes, sleep is another powerful tool that
Mm,
is very not very used, not well used by a lot of us. It's a
mm,
superpower. Like we
yeah.
have a doctor that we know that says that, right? Sleep is
Yes,
a
we
superpower.
do.
Yes. So understanding how powerful sleep is, the fact that we actually need to get the 7 to 8 hours of sleep,
Mm,
and that when we do sleep, our bodies repair us, what repairs itself. We actually consolidate memory better
mm,
when we sleep. We can learn new things better when we sleep. And then, of course, we feel better. Our mood is better. We all know that, right? And then
yeah.
we eat better when we sleep because
Mm,
when we don't sleep well, our
mm,
leptin levels are abnormal, and so we choose what we choose to eat. We choose bad foods
good. Mm,
because and we
yeah.
may have noticed that, like when you're
Yeah,
tired, you
that
just
is
want to
true.
eat
I just
whatever.
want to eat.
Right.
Yeah,
You just want
yeah.
to eat. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And that's how we prepare ourselves. So by
Mm,
sleeping better, it helps us eat better. It actually gives us the energy to do physical activity. It kind of drives a lot of the other healthy lifestyle behaviors. So
yeah.
sleep is really important too.
Yeah, that's a big one I'm actually beginning to realize more. I mean, it's not like I didn't know it, but for a while you just tell yourself, oh, that's fine. I can survive on like, 4 hours of sleep. I can survive on like 5 hours of sleep. And I think I've realized not I think two things have happened. One is I've realized more and more there's serious science behind sleep, and getting that number of hours of sleep. And I'm just getting older.
Yeah,
I
this
just
is
can't
our
tolerate all the multiple, like, awakenings at night, calling me
Yep,
on call, and
yep.
I go to bed really late. I'm like, no, we can't do this.
Yep, the buddy has spoken.
Yes. But I'm really trying to be more intentional, not just with me, but my family as well. Like, we need to
Mhm.
go to bed on time and get good sleep because you're right. There's so much science behind it. And it's such a simple thing and a free thing, right?
Right, exactly.
And usually an enjoyable thing for most people too. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
some people struggle with getting to sleep, and maybe you could even touch on that. If people are struggling to get that sleep, because maybe some people would love to sleep more, but
Hmm.
just struggle to fall asleep or struggle
Right.
to sleep. And I know, of course, if there's so many things, at play there, but maybe one or two things you can sort of give as a
Yeah.
tip for people who are in that boat.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, sleep is a huge deal for a lot of people out there. And I think one of the major things that affects sleep that people don't realize is light, our
Mm,
relationship with the light. So for people that are struggling to sleep well, they look understanding how light affects sleep can be helpful. So understanding that in the mornings when you're exposed to bright light, that
mhm.
tells your body, that kind of sets the circadian rhythm for your
Yeah,
body, kind of notifies your body it's day.
yeah.
But when you expose yourself to lights, which include light bulbs,
Mhm.
computer, blue light from the computer or your
Mhm.
devices and all of that at night, that suppresses your melatonin levels, which makes
Mm.
it more difficult for you to sleep.
Mm.
So there is, that relationship with how light affects sleep. And so that's why a dark room is really important in sleep
Mm.
for proper sleep, like
Yeah.
really making sure you're not getting any light into the room,
Mhm.
dimming your lights towards the end of the day can
Mhm.
be very helpful because that would decrease the melatonin suppression because we're actually more sensitive to light towards the end of the day. That's how we're built
Interesting.
than in the middle of the day. So
Mm.
things like that, just understanding that, light can make a big difference. Your exposure to light throughout the
Mhm.
day sets your circadian rhythm and also can affect when you go to bed and how well you sleep. So that's
Mm.
one big thing I think that is missing. And a big part of that is a lot of people are working from home now, right?
Yes, that is
They
true.
they stay home all day and they're
Mhm.
not exposed to any light. And then
Mm.
at night they turn on the TV.
Yeah.
Everybody's all confused, like, wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait, where are we? What
Yeah.
day is this? What time is this? So
Mm.
just understanding that, exposure to light is really important. So
Mm.
that's the first thing. The other thing I think with sleep, I would say is maybe people that wake up early. I think that's a
Mhm.
common thing that happens to a
Yeah,
lot of people, like they're waking up a little bit too early.
really.
So what can help with that is, again, examining their light relationship. And in that
Mhm.
case, actually exposing themselves to late afternoon sunlight can be helpful. So that means,
Interesting.
and that will help because they're not so sensitive to light at night when they do that. So doing a
Mhm.
late afternoon walk, for example, can be helpful for somebody like that, or
Interesting.
doing that exercise, maybe if they were doing it in the morning, moving it to the late afternoon instead can be
Mm.
helpful. And also watching what they eat towards the end of the day. So for
Mm.
dinner, avoiding things that have a lot of sodium, obviously avoiding caffeine,
Yeah.
avoiding alcohol, which is another big one. Some people will drink
Mhm.
alcohol right before they go to bed. That actually
Yeah.
doesn't help in that scenario. So
Interesting.
things like that can be done to kind of help. There's a lot, but those are some.
Yeah, no, but that's really good and a good place to start. And I will also say maybe not to ignore it too, right? Because lots of people sort of just, well, that's just the way things are. I don't sleep much. I wake up at night, I wake up early and I can't go back to sleep. And after a while, they may just see that as just the way life is for them.
Right,
But maybe, I'm sure you agree, encouraging them to dig in more, to go see a primary care provider, to talk about it, to bring it up, and
right,
not just, sort of put up with this, like this is just the way it is.
right,
And even if they've tried before, really exploring that again.
right.
Even
Absolutely.
if they have to see a sleep medicine specialist, but
Exactly.
given all that you are, sharing with us that sleep does for us, I mean, that's huge. We can't afford to ignore that.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and like you said, it's free.
Yes, it is.
It's, it's,
Absolutely. No
yeah,
prescription needed.
exactly. Exactly.
Oh boy, this has been so good. So good. I love the fact that they are, yes, the things we know, but I think sometimes it's just useful to hear them again, and also to be exposed to the benefits of these things. I think sometimes we oversimplify. Yeah, you just need to sleep more so you can feel more rested in the morning. It's not just that you feel more rested in the morning. There are all these other things that are going on when you do that, right? And you do get that amount of sleep. So thank you for adding to that education for our viewers and everyone who'll be watching later on. That's really been fascinating. How can people get more from you? How can they walk with you as well? Is your practice all just a physical location? Do you work with people remotely as well? Maybe you could share all of that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm here in Sugar Land, Texas, and I do have a physical location in Touch Primary Care. That's the name of the practice. And I can see anybody in Texas. So
Mhm.
I do video visits with people outside of the Houston area.
Okay.
And I do have other resources that can be found online on my YouTube channel, In Touch Primary Care, and
Mhm.
also on Instagram, Facebook at In Touch Primary.
Nice, wonderful. Thank you again for coming to share all this fascinating knowledge with us and your expertise. I really appreciate it. So glad you could join us. This has been really fascinating. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I do want to say one thing. If you guys are out there you're in the Maryland area, please go see Dr. Obidi. I
Yes.
mean, he is awesome and he has a very, very great practice. I mean, he's so committed to patient care and you just need to go see him. So
Thank you. That is so kind of you. Yes, we are in the Washington County, Maryland area. Feel free to call the office 301-791-7060. We take care of both adults and kids and we'd love to have you. And if you're watching this later on as a replay, type #replay, ask your questions. We'd love to stop by later on and say hi. And thank you again, Dr. Ashaya. It was really wonderful spending time with you. Okay.
thank you. It's a
Bye,
pleasure.
everyone. We'll see you again next week.